Here's how I would expand PumpfunEco through short form content and why I think this page is a goldmine for onboarding and making the space mainstream. To understand why PumpfunEco is such a strong candidate for short form platforms, we first need to look at what the platform already produces. PumpfunEco highlights the biggest trades happening on chain. And this formula works because it taps into something extremely basic: transformation. People want to hear stories of somebody turning nothing into something. And when someone sees $300 turn into 100,000, people don't just see numbers, they see possibility. And that possibility only gets heightened when you realize it's a meme you literally saw yourself. And that tension between where you are and where you could be is what brings that spark, interest, and snowball effect to the platform. We saw this exact dynamic during the December through January run, and again when Pepe on ETH blew up. It wasn't technical analysis that onboarded people, it was the transformation stories of people turning a few $100s into six figures. And this leads me to my next point. The top performing coins formula feels powerful because it shows that these pumps aren't one-off events, but instead shows that opportunities like this actively present themselves every day. For every coin that explodes, there's Pepe level returns. And if we show that somebody turns nothing into something actively, it'll make people stop thinking they missed it and start thinking, how can I turn nothing into something next? And this is where we can use TikTok to our advantage. If viewers see there's always money to be made, they keep coming back. And TikTok's algorithm is specifically designed to reward content that holds attention, triggers emotion, and creates repeat engagement, which is exactly what transformation stories do. So if PumpfunEco already produces these kinds of moments every single day, it raises an important question. Why isn't that momentum translating into larger growth? And that answer largely comes down to distribution. To understand the stagnation, we have to look at where the content currently lives: crypto Twitter. And while crypto Twitter is extremely active, it also creates an echo chamber. And what this means is that the same traders who were originally onboarded by these PNLs are the same ones seeing them today. So the content keeps circulating within the CT space. And when distribution stays contained, there's no new exposure to the space. But it's not just limited in reach, it's also limited in format. Most of the updates are text based, but why does that matter? Well, text doesn't create the same emotional intensity that visuals do. When insane PNLs and coins are reduced to text on a screen, the scale of the moment doesn't translate. Tell me which moment would grab your attention more. This trader is up $300,000 on Punch and hasn't sold a single token. They gained a 12,000x return so far. Or $300 into 300,000 in one trade. And no, this wasn't some whale, just someone who knows how to spot narratives early. This trader bought a coin about the monkey punch while the story was still developing, threw in $300 and simply held while he was becoming a worldwide phenomenon. At first, the volume was slow. Then the story caught on. He started getting a 10x, 30x, and even an 80x, but still held. And suddenly, that $300 position hit over six figures, and at the peak, over 300k. That's right, Punch made somebody make more than a doctor. So without visual amplification, even insane P&Os that should be more viral lose momentum faster than they should. And it's opportunity that's essentially getting wasted because the quality of moments PumpFun produces has real viral and onboarding potential. Especially when you realize that TikTok actively pushes content to new people who haven't heard about this style of trading before, but are still engaging with trading content. But we aren't capitalizing off of it. And we know people will engage with this type of content because day trading videos consistently get hundreds of thousands of views. So what does that tell us? People are drawn to making money online by trading, especially when it feels fast and high upside. If we start posting the things PumpfunEco posts in a more visually and entertaining way to fit the philosophy of TikTok, it'll give us two advantages. We can reach entirely new viewers, and we can reshape the perception among those who already know about meme coins, showing them that this wasn't just a fleeting trend, but a space where opportunities still exist. The same viral mechanics that drive day trading content can be applied to meme coins, but PumpFun isn't capitalizing off this market, and this market isn't some make-believe fantasy, it already exists. The proof is in TJR, a day trading creator with nearly 2 million followers. His success wasn't driven by his ability to day trade alone, it was driven by tone. He took day trading and reframed it through humor, relatability, and showed that day trading doesn't have to be so serious. That mattered because it shows modern audiences don't gravitate towards something they can't relate to. They instead gravitate towards cultural familiarity. When financial content feels human and culturally native, it becomes more appealing than intimidating. This means that cultural familiarity lowers resistance and makes high risk financial content feel less like a lecture and more like something you already understand. So, what does that mean for meme coins? Well, meme coins will have no issue gaining momentum on the platform because the tone TGR had to introduce to day trading already exists natively within meme coins. Day trading had to be reframed to feel cultural, while meme coins are already inherently cultural. They're built on internet humor, they emerge from the same trends people are already consuming, and they move faster, all while having more insane transformation stories with less capital. The unserious tone that made TGR successful isn't something meme coins need to adopt. It's already embedded in them. So in essence, the demand for culturally packaged, high return based trading content already exists, and meme coins meet that demand in a format that aligns with how people already consume content online. Because the references are familiar, the market feels less foreign, increasing confidence and lowering the barrier to entry. Everything that makes up meme coins is extremely appealing to the average person. That's why they can onboard more people than day trading ever could. Millions of people are already consuming high risk trading content on TikTok, and that's exactly why other platforms have already started investing heavily into the source. Platforms like Polymarket are actively investing in TikTok distribution. This builds native brand presence instead of relying on a single source like crypto Twitter. That expands their reach beyond their existing trading base and puts them in front of experienced traders, learners, and completely new entrants. And more importantly, it signals where the curiosity is forming. TikTok isn't just a content platform, it's a high volume user acquisition source. It's where people begin evaluating which platforms feel exciting, accessible, and high upside. The brands that resonate the most and look the most life changing become the default when users decide to act. Competitors understand this, and they actively try appealing to the next wave of traders and reinforcing their position among those who already have opinions. And this is where the gap becomes clear. Meme coins are the most culturally native and fastest form of trading content online, all while being the most accessible. Even though the product itself creates stronger viral stories, it is largely absent from the platform where new demand is being created. So the format works, the audience exists, and competitors are already validating the model. Which leads to the real question. Why aren't Pump Fun's current TikToks performing the same way? Well, it's not because the product lacks potential, but because the magnitude of what's happening isn't being translated properly. There's no real wow factor, the biggest plays aren't being highlighted, and the wins that make somebody stop and think, wait, what? Aren't leading the narrative. Instead of showcasing the moments that can happen on Pump Fun, the content often focuses on smaller wins that can be made elsewhere. What makes this space unique is the possibility that a relatively small position can turn into something significant. Without the "that could be me" or "my life could be completely different if I put $300 into the monkey" moment, there's no reason for someone to imagine participating. The content also overlooks the most compelling element. The same trends people scroll past daily are being transformed into tradable opportunities. The transformation and the material is a hook. It's what creates disbelief and what makes this space different from traditional trading, because this is one of the only markets where somebody can trade a meme or a trend and turn it into life-changing money. When the biggest wins, the stories, and the scale aren't contextualized, the platform starts to resemble standard trading content. And once it feels like traditional trading, the cultural advantage disappears. And most importantly, the content assumes prior understanding. For insiders, the content makes sense, but for outsiders, it looks like your average day trading creator. What's missing is the explanation that this isn't trading, it's making money off cultural momentum and attention. Without that framing, the platform fails to make itself different from traditional markets, and the broader audience never converts. So, what would I do differently? First, I'll lead with outcomes. Every video would immediately answer, why should a normal person care? I'll show the amount of money people are making from the memes they're already seeing. Second, I'll focus on high activity windows. By documenting large trades and a rapid price movement, I'll show that the platform is alive and happening in real time. Third, I'll document participation. I'll develop a recurring Trading with Cole series that shows real traders engaging and winning, showing that this wasn't just a fleeting market, but one where people actively make money every day. And when outcomes are contextualized and culturally packaged correctly, the platform stops looking dead and starts looking like an opportunity. In conclusion, the product already creates the stories, the wins already exist, the cultural momentum is already there. The only gap is how it's being packaged and distributed. When that changes, the perception changes. And perception is what drives onboarding. And showing the goldmine that this platform is to a mass audience requires two things: understanding the algorithm and understanding the audience, which is exactly where I come in. I don't just study TikTok, I've executed on it. I've run a clipping account where multiple videos surpassed 100K views, and also clipped my long form videos into short form videos, which has taught me how to engineer retention, hook attention, and build momentum inside saturated feeds. In doing this, I got to understand the psychology behind the average TikTok scroller. Also, over the past year, I've developed strong storytelling skills. I've scripted and edited content, so I understand pacing, emotional escalation, and how to turn raw information into narrative. In doing this, I mastered a type of humor that will go well with a general audience. But more importantly, clipping content at a scale gave me a deep understanding of viewer psychology. By constantly extracting high impact moments from longer videos, I trained myself to recognize exactly what makes people pause, rewatch, and engage. Also, I'm a crypto native. I entered the space during the Pepe cycle in 2023 and have watched the rise of Pumpfun in real time. I understand the type of people who join the space, the psychology, and the chronically onlineness that drives meme coins. Having been onboarded during a meme cycle myself and seeing mass onboarding to the space, I understand the exact triggers, curiosity, and wow factor that convert observers into participants. That perspective allows me to design content that recreates that entry point deliberately. I'm not looking at this from the outside. I understand both the platform mechanics and the market mechanics, which is exactly what this opportunity requires.